Hi there. I am Heather Hennessy. Thanks for joining me. I'm a certified life and weight loss coach. I specialize in coaching over 40 brand new moms. These are women who are the family breadwinner, who are over the age of 40 and are brand new mothers, brand new first time mothers, also. So, that's what I was not very long ago in my own life. So if you're a mom and you're under the age of 40, you're welcome to stick around and listen in. But really, that's who my coaching practice specializes in. So I'm thrilled to talk to you today about my theme for February, which is 40 reasons to love being an over 40 new mom. I now love being an over 40 new mom, but that is not the way that motherhood started out for me. Um, I know that some people adjust to motherhood very easily, and I kind of view those people like some people pick up languages really easily. Some people play the piano with a lot of skill very easily. And some people just ease into being a mom. So if you're one of those people who eased into motherhood without a whole lot of grief, that's fantastic. But for me, motherhood at the beginning was a very awkward fit. It was something that I adjusted to, but I certainly now help my clients do so with a lot more grace and a lot less angst and anxiety than I had in the beginning. Um, I really worked at my adjustment to being a new mom. I got a lot of coaching and I worked really hard at managing my thoughts and emotions. And that work made a huge difference for me. That work of learning how to manage my thoughts and emotions. And that's now what I help my clients do. So when I say that I'm a coach for new moms, I don't coach people about how to take care of tiny babies. That is not what I coach. I coach the moms on how to really take care of themselves in ways that then make taking care of the tiny baby and the rest of motherhood far easier. Um, this work is very worth doing, my friends. I want you to know that. My experience of motherhood since I began getting coached and began working on myself in these ways is completely transformed. And you too can have a transformative experience of motherhood if you start to do similar work on yourself. So the some of these kind of transformative thoughts and emotions are ones that we will touch on while I work through my 40 reasons to love being an over 40 new mom here during February. A quick side note before we get started on the list. This first week of February happens to also be Children's Mental Health Week for 2020. And I mention that because one of my core beliefs is that mothers who prioritize their mental and emotional health are able to help their children manage their mental and emotional health when issues arise. And that it has certainly been the case for me that managing my own thoughts and emotions has been something that truly helps me not only, be a mom, but also um, helps me raise my child. And it's one of the core areas where I help my clients. And it's also a belief of mine that parents who are mentally and emotionally depleted just don't have the reserves inside of them to really parent in the way that they want to parent. If you're struggling, you're less able to help a struggling child or family member, who whatever the case may be. But specifically in this case with my coaching, we're talking about primarily the relationships between mother and child. It is exactly the same as being on the airplane and putting on your own oxygen mask first. Unless you are getting oxygen, you cannot help the person next to you get oxygen. So, um, so I really appreciate that, this week is one where children's mental health is a focus, and you can certainly Google it and find out more if you're interested. Um, but, coaching helped me get my oxygen flowing mentally and emotionally, and helps me to model the behaviors that I want to, um, for my child to grow up with. So, with that having been said, on to our list of the 40 reasons to love being an over 40 new mom. So, reason number one is you meet a fascinating new friend when your baby is born, and that is so much fun. And, we know now, right? Science has told us that we're biologically hardwired to find our own children fascinating. It's not an accident that when you have a baby, you are fixated on the baby. There's actually like, hormonal and neurochemical changes going on inside your brain, below your consciousness, that are telling you that your baby's fascinating. You need to pay a lot of attention to your baby. You need to take care of your baby, all these other things. But, in my experience, that was one of the things that made the transition to motherhood so awkward, right? All the things that my brain used to focus on, it was like they just melted away, and you pivot your focus almost entirely to your baby. And there's a reason that we do that, but it doesn't make it any easier, right? When you're actually in the moment and your brain is sort of, in a state of hyper awareness about your baby, and in a state of anxiety, and you're exhausted, right? So you're having all of these experiences, but at the same time, the baby is the most fascinating person you've ever met in your life. So it is a complete, for me, it was a very life changing experience, and it just sort of tilted my entire world on its axis, in ways that were good, but I really wasn't prepared for them. And this is one area where coaching can really be effective. Reason number two, you get to learn to love the fact that you are the perfect mom for your baby just as you are. So, having had a baby at age 41, there were lots of moments where I thought, if only I were younger, if I were a younger mom, this would be, I wouldn't be having these challenges, whatever the challenge was of the day. This would be easier. No, that wasn't true. None of that was true. I had a lot of thoughts about my age. I had a lot of thoughts about that I was past my prime to be having a baby, but all of it was absolute garbage. And it sort of added a layer of stress and anxiety to my experience that was totally unnecessary. So, that is another place where coaching can be really helpful to an over 40 new mom. Um, you are becoming a mom at exactly the right time for you, and you are exactly the mom that your baby needs. And if you kind of borrow some of those thoughts, you relieve yourself from a lot of unnecessary anxiety and stress. Number three, discovering joy in tiny moments with your tiny new baby. So this kind of goes back to the heart of, the experience of motherhood. And, by the time you're in your 40s, you've sort of lived a lot of life. That was the experience for me, right? I had a career. I was, extensively well traveled. I'd had a lot of fun, right? The sort of years under my belt at that point, and everything that I had done, right? I kind of was at a point in life where it took a lot to impress me and get me excited. Then enter tiny baby, and just like this, you know, tiny little person making tiny little movements and doing tiny little things, and you're just overjoyed about all of it. So that was really fun, right? It's kind of recalibrated my definition of what I thought was awesome and amazing in a really great way, and in a way that I wasn't expecting. And that was part of the delight of it all. Um, to go from being somebody who kind of who required a high bar to get excited about something. And then when your baby arrives, you just totally, the bar, goes out the window. Reason number 4, you get an opportunity to rethink your career. Do the decisions you made in your 20s still apply in your 40s? Does your current career path still work for you now that you are a mom? Motherhood was the first time in a long time that I reevaluated my professional track, and I now help my clients do the same. So, this one kind of speaks for itself, right? Like when I became a mom, I was essentially living out the tail end of a bunch of career decisions that had begun when I was in my 20s after I graduated from law school, right? Started making decisions and just kind of kept going, kept advancing, kept on taking different positions that were the next logical step in my career. And you become a mom and you look around and go, does all of this make sense still? Is this still what I want to be doing? And those questions can be very jarring, right? Those are not necessarily welcome questions, especially for those of us who think that we're really doing what we want to be doing and that everything's going really well. And then all of a sudden you're questioning everything. So you have the thought, right? This is all going completely wrong. That the fact that I'm now questioning my career and questioning my decisions and do I still want to be doing this, and kind of, getting into a mental loop where motherhood and the career are seemingly in conflict. And that conflict, anything that kind of results in that dynamic of conflict is something that really deserves to be examined. And examining it with a coach is a great way to work through some of those issues if they are arising for you. So, so much of what I see and read and hear from other people is that because the two, motherhood and career, are maybe not meshing as well, I guess is the term I would use, as had been the case when the baby was just imaginary, but then the baby actually arrives and the two seem to be coming into conflict. A coach can really help untangle things and work out, what it is that you want, what career do you think you want going forward? And, do you want to continue doing what you have been doing, vis-a-vis those decisions you made in your 20s, or is it time to make a brand new decision here in your 40s? There's no wrong answer. I mean, literally, for myself and for the clients that I work with, there's no wrong answer. It's just a matter of what I talked about as far as number 1, right? Where you have your baby and everything shifts for you. You sort of gravitational shift. The career decision is part of that gravitational shift. And it, again, some people never miss a beat. Others of us miss some beats, right? And want to have a conversation with a professional about what this means and what it should look like going forward. Number 5, you discover for the first time your body's amazing ability to create life. Congratulations, you are over 40 and you just grew a person. That was pretty shocking to me. I, quite frankly, could hardly believe that I had actually had gotten pregnant at age 40, had a baby at age 41, and, gone through labor, the whole 9 yards. That was, kind of life affirming and amazing to me, and kind of, again, recalibrated what I thought about myself and about my physical capabilities and how I looked at my body. Just another one of those examples of the gravitational shift, and one that for me turned out to be very positive. Um, I think that a lot of women come out of pregnancy feeling not so positive about themselves. So if that's the case for you, definitely a place where coaching can be invaluable. Um, Number 6, you get to remind yourself what a badass you are. You are a professional working woman and the family breadwinner, and now you are also a new mom. So for my clients, this is huge, right? And huge because my clients are in their 40s, they've got a track record of career success, and they're, very accustomed to uh, being at the, at or near the top of their profession, leading a team, running a business, being entrepreneurs, partners in firms, whatever the case may be. And then they add brand new mom to their resume. It's pretty darn badass. Number 7, you get to become new types of badass. Motherhood takes it all to the next level. I cannot overstate this. Um, Working moms, my clients in particular, dynamos, unstoppable, and just really phenomenal people on every level. And something about becoming a new mom, it unlocks a skill set and a set of capabilities that a lot of my clients didn't even know that they possessed. New kinds of badass. I am here to tell you. Number 8, looking at tiny babies, we see endless possibilities. When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and saw endless possibilities? Motherhood over the age of 40 expands your view of what is possible for you. This is directly related to number 7. And again, I cannot overstate this. This was such the case for me. And, looking back on it now, it was so welcome. But at the time, it freaked me out. It totally freaked me out to look in the mirror, realize that I did have levels of capability and levels of success ahead of me that I hadn't even fathomed. And I'm pretty darn successful, right? Like there was no question that I was successful and sort of thriving by lots of definitions. But to become a mom and then have all of that go to the next level, it was brand new thinking for me. It also runs counter to a lot of what society tells us about motherhood, which I think is one of the big differences between, messages that we get from society and messages that you get from a coach. Society has a lot to tell us about what moms are and are not capable of. And I think a lot of that narrative is very negative. It's very focused on, loss, lack of capabilities, lack of sleep, right? There's just a lot of kind of new mom negative talk. So a coach can help you look at your own situation, take it in a very kind of methodical and cut out the noise of society and look at it for yourself, and truly help you to evaluate what it is that you want for yourself, what it is that you want for your family, and what you want for your future. So endless possibilities. What if that were true? What if new motherhood could be your springboard to endless possibilities for yourself? I invite you to imagine that. And I certainly invite you, if you are interested in exploring those possibilities for yourself, please check out my website. It would be my honor and privilege to be a part of your journey. Again, my name is Heather Hennessy. I'm a certified life and weight loss coach, and I specialize in helping over 40 brand new moms who are the family breadwinner. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll be back next week with some more of my top 40 reasons to love being an over 40 new mom. Have a great weekend.